Welcome to Meet the Missouri Horse Professional. I'm your host, Jennifer Hurt of JRs Equine Spa Retreat, and I'm interviewing Missouri horse professionals in your area. Join me in meeting this week's talented Missouri horse professional. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Missouri Horse Professional. Today, I have a treat for you guys. We are here with Rachel Murphy of Spotted Mare Design. So, Rachel, thank you for agreeing to do this.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, explain to the audience what you do. What is Spotted Mare Design all about?
Spotted Mare Design does different things, like from phone holders you can put on your tack, or you can do it on yourself.
Yeah.
I've done hair clips. I mean, just about anything. If I get bored, I just start playing with it. But I really got interested in the mohair.
Yeah, I see you got some samples for us. You guys look at this. Hopefully I can... Sorry, I had to look at the TV to make sure it was in frame. I don't go out of frame and stuff like that. Guys, isn't that beautiful? And before we get into the detail on it, I love the rings. And I know you're going to explain where they come from. Of course, I already know, because I've already admired your artwork here.
They're Jeremiah Watt rings. I believe in putting quality rings on my tack because mohair will last a long time, so there's no sense in putting a cheap hardware on it to where it's going to rust.
Exactly.
And then it ruins the look of your mohair.
Yeah, you guys,
if I'm going to spend this much time making something, I want it to last for somebody.
Exactly, I agree. So go ahead and tell us about mohair. I know you got some fascinating facts to tell us about mohair.
I did.
And if we need to lift these up for people to see, we can do that too.
I did some. This is a potential. This is a cinch. I was just in the middle of working on it and thought I'd bring it by. Mm-hmm. I will put strapping in the middle and then wrap it. So even if you wanted to rope with it, it's going to be a sturdy cinch. It's not a roper cinch. It's just a 17 strand cinch.
Okay.
But
now, I'm going to stop you right there. Can you quickly tell us, like you just said 17 strand, and that's for a roper? Or not a roper?
No.
That's like your regular.
That's a straight cinch.
Okay.
A straight cinch is a 17. Usually you'll have a spreader.
And for the ropers.
For the ropers. And it's usually, I think they do 27
Up
warps.
to 27?
Up to 27
Wow.
warps. You have to have a different type of buckle.
Okay.
And you'll have to have a spreader on. Some go smaller than that.
Okay.
I have done a straight cinch that was 19 inches. And it's a nice wide cinch, and it stays wide. It doesn't roll on your horse. And I use a webbing that I put to wrap so that your rings won't pull out. If for some reason you had extra stress on it, it's not going to pull out.
That's awesome.
So,
wow. Yeah, I'm not a roper or anything, so I don't know anything about that stuff.
and I make different breast collars. This is a 3-point breast collar. I didn't bring it today, but I also have a tripping collar. And that's, if you go to my website, you'll see the tripping collar. I've usually got it on my appy.
Awesome.
And then they also have a pulling collar. And that goes up to the pommel of your saddle. I haven't made one yet, but they're really easy to make. They're just a little bit longer, and you do a little bit of a different tie-in with them for your tugs.
Gotcha.
So, but mohair actually is made out of Angora goats.
Now, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of goat is
It's
that?
a hairy goat, I guess.
Really? So,
But
are they local or?
Texas has the most. And
Okay.
they said there's over 200,000
in Texas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mohair is.
They like their guts.
So. Mohair,
So what do they use them just besides for their hair or just for their hair?
I don't know what all
gotcha.
they use for them.
Okay.
It's quite a process to weave to get it to this stage to where I can use it to spin it. It's usually all in a natural color.
Okay.
And then there's 2 or 3. There's 2 big retailers you can buy from for your mohair. Then there's other people that make it, and they have a website, and you can go in and buy custom dyes or custom twists.
So you actually dye them yourself?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you have them dye it to where...
Right, but I've never really bought from them. But it is an option for you. You're not limited, kind of like the sky's the limit. But
Nice.
One thing with mohair, the tensile strength on mohair is close to 1,000 pounds per inch.
Are you serious?
It's super strong. And
wow, like Wow.
That's usually on your 8-ply, which is, this is an 8-ply. And
Okay.
that warp is an 8-ply. The red and the tan down there is an 8-ply.
Oh.
This is your 8-ply.
Okay, gotcha.
And they
You
said
guys, I'm new to all this, and this is why we do this, because there's people like me out there.
the only other
Wow.
stronger natural that you can get is silk.
Wow.
Silk is the next strength compared to mohair.
Wow.
Or that's what I've read.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
I'm just going by what I've read.
That's,
You
you
know?
know, say what you know.
So, but the one thing about mohair that I like
Uh-huh.
is if you've got a horse that's cinchy,
Yeah.
or if you've got a horse that galls,
Yes.
those are better than your neoprene. Or I
Nice.
feel like they're better than the
I
neoprene.
believe it. Yeah.
The one thing about mohair, it will wick the moisture away from the horse.
Which is important.
It doesn't get hot, it breathes.
That's important.
And I have a horse that galls.
Okay.
I have to do a centerfire rigging on him. And I tried him out, because usually after 5 miles, he's sore. He's got a spot.
Gotcha.
So I tried him out with the mohair, did a regular rigging on him, went 10 miles. There was not even a hair out of place.
That is
So
awesome.
I kind of try these out for myself to see.
So
how-
you back up your work.
Right, because
You
I
know
want
it
to
works.
try it
Yeah.
before I say, yes, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like I say, mohair is, I like working with it because there's so many options you can do. I mean,
I know. I wish that some of your, well, that's got a little bit of your exquisite work on
this
there.
is half of a breast collar. I just haven't got back to work on it yet.
So you guys
And
see the cactuses and stuff?
so you kind of like, it's like, there's no limit to your design.
That is awesome. And you've gotten really creative. I mean, you guys go to her Facebook page, you're going to see extremely creative designs, I think, anyway. And what I really like that you can do is if people have their favorite saddle pad,
Yeah, you can match the colors. I've done that with
Yeah.
cinches.
Yeah.
They'll send me a picture of their saddle pad, and of course, pictures aren't as good as seeing it actually in
Sure,
person.
sure.
But I've ordered enough from this.
yeah, these flies are annoying.
From
You guys, these flies, I don't know if a storm's coming in, which we need.
Oh
but-
yeah, I've ordered enough from this one company. I think I have every color that they have.
Oh, really?
I need to set a book up. It's like, well, this will go.
There you go.
But no, it's just fun, and a lot of people draw it out to scale.
Yeah.
On graph paper.
Yeah.
Their design. That don't work for me. I know this sounds really stupid, but I kind of have to talk to the person I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
Get a feel of what they like.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't really limit me.
Yes.
To what they want, I can usually create something a lot better. It's kind of like
You're feeling their energy.
I have to feel
and
the,
designing
I have
it.
to feel the energy of.
That is so cool.
But I don't draw anything out because I end up ripping it apart numerous times.
that is awesome.
So, but I mean, it's kind of
Sometimes
like
you just got to wing it.
basically
That's what
I
we do with these interviews. We just wing it. We're just a
Yep.
couple of people having a conversation.
So yeah, that's all
awesome.
I've done with this. But
That is great. Now, I've seen this in the past, and I'm going to ask you if people around here are doing this, and if they've had you do this. Have they? Oof, I almost dropped it.
Yeah, I don't hurt it.
Have they had you make a belt?
I haven't done one yet.
Really, I would think that would be so.
That would be
freaking
really
cool.
It would be cool. It would be easy to do.
And I
because-
might want you to make me a belt.
What you could do is go how many strands you want to go through the belt loop.
Yeah.
Put a D-ring on the end of it. Then you would do your leather piece to hold your buckle.
Yeah.
And for everything else to go on.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that is an option
Yeah.
for things to do. I've
That would
done
be awesome.
nosebands for halters. I've done weather
Nice.
straps. You know, there's kind of like you're up to your imagination.
And that right there is key. That's where I think some of the best work comes. If people just let their imagination go wild and not just go off of what people like, what
Right.
they like, you know,
Right.
because
And that's why I have to visit with people usually.
Yeah.
Because you kind of can read them to see
Yes.
what they like, what they don't like. Knock on wood, I've had satisfied customers.
good.
So, you know, and they've always loved their product that
Yeah.
they've got. So, I mean, some of it, you know, I didn't know how the colors was going to work out. But when I got done with it, it was like, man, it's smashing, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, they really wanted this color and this color. And I'm thinking, okay, it's your piece. We're going to create it.
Yeah.
But then they let me do the design in it. And it turned out really good.
Now, I don't want you to state how much you charge because I want people, if they're
Right.
interested, to go to your Facebook page. Plus, you guys, things change.
Well,
you know?
it depends
Yeah.
on how much, if it's
Exactly.
plain or if it's going to have a lot
Exactly.
of detail on it.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you have a set price or is it what kind of is
It
involved with
depends on if it's a tripping collar or if it's a 3-point collar or if it's a pulling collar. That's a little different. I also make my own tugs, and I use the Jeremiah Watt hardware for my tugs because I want my tugs to match the hardware that I put on my pieces. So I try to keep everything matching.
Everything matching and everything custom made, because Jeremiah Watts, they custom make their stuff, you know. So that is so nice. I absolutely love your work, and I've seen your work before. You've brought it and showed me, and I've always been so impressed, and that's why. You know, I know there's a couple other people that do mohair in Missouri.
There's a lot of them that do them. And I
had to have you on here because I've seen your work and love your work. And you're humble about it. You guys, she's so humble about it.
I am very, I'm in awe of the makers that we have here in Missouri because I feel like I'm never going to meet up to what they do.
Really? And it's so funny because they're probably going to look at you and go, wow.
No, because I'm all self-taught. Believe me, YouTube, that's how I learned. I went on YouTube and I just sat there. It was cold. It was in February. And I thought, I want to do this because I can't afford to buy this.
Yeah.
You know, being retired, and I couldn't make up my mind what colors I wanted. So the best thing I did, my husband made me this loom, the first one. And I said, I just want something basic. Make it for me. And I ordered the mohair. And I think I took that thing out 100 times.
But you know, see, this is why I say you need to give yourself more credit, is because, I hate to throw this out there, but I have heard rumors of some other people who have done mohairs and it doesn't last. They do break. And there's, I'm not definitely going to not name names, but someone in particular where it was multiple horses that this has happened. And you've never had this problem. This has never happened. And so that's why I think you need to give yourself big time credit, because you make sure it's going to last.
Well, I don't want somebody to get hurt over something I created. That I would be devastated. And I wrote in my own stuff.
Darn stallion. You guys are stallions.
I wrote in my stuff a year before I ever sold it.
Wow.
I wrote it in a year because I thought I'm not good enough to do it. And I want to make sure it's going to hold up. I personally wrote in my stuff.
That's
and
awesome.
then I just tried to refine my stuff.
Yes.
And if I see a flaw in the mohair, I'll cut that whole section out.
Wow.
You know, because I'll check it before I actually put the warps together.
Do you guys hear that? Listen how close to detail she pays attention, even down to the strands.
And for cleaning, people say, oh my gosh, that would be hard to clean. It's not hard to clean. Mohair is the easiest thing in the world to clean.
So how do you clean these? Like, let's say this.
All right, you take this, you take the buckles.
Okay.
If it was dirty, if it had dirt
like
on
horse
it.
hair and
not necessarily horse hair
even.
But I mean, like I wrote in, I didn't bring it because it was dirty. I haven't cleaned it, but I wrote in Monument Valley. So I had all the dust and stuff from Monument Valley and sweat and all that, and it was a light colored breast collar.
Gotcha.
So what you do is you get just a little bit of woolite and dip it in a 5-gallon bucket.
Okay.
And then I hang mine on my hitching rail and I hose it off. Just, so you're getting all the soap out of it. And then I go and hang it in the shade.
Okay.
Don't put
so
it in
it
the
doesn't,
sun.
because it'll shrink.
And no, mohair doesn't shrink.
It doesn't shrink.
Mohair doesn't shrink. Now alpaca will.
Really?
Alpaca, they sell alpaca, and alpaca will shrink, and alpaca will stretch. And mohair won't stretch. It'll give a little, but it always goes right back.
Which is what it should do when you're riding horses.
If you set your cinch like you want it, when you get on, when you get off, you won't be tightening that cinch. Like on neoprene, you're always constantly tight. You won't do it on mohair.
Wow.
I can ride all day long. If I tighten mine up right where I want it, I come in and it's still the same. It's the same.
Wow.
So it doesn't stretch.
That's awesome.
But if you have hair in your cinches, like when you ride in the winter, and hair gets woven into that, they actually say you can take a light brush and but it will fuzz it.
Right.
You can kind of pick it out, or sometimes I do a lint roller if it's really bad. But they also claim it's more cushion for your horse.
Oh, leaving it on there?
Because it's natural fibers woven inside the mohair, and so it's an extra cushion for your horse.
So you don't need to clean it.
No, not if you just, if you just don't have to, you don't, but I mean, sometimes mine look kind of, because I use my stuff, it looks bad, but I will clean, but lots of times I don't clean my cinches very good. Because who's going to see them? I still put the decorative stuff on my cinches, but who's going to see them? Unless I fall off and I'm under my horse.
Oh, God, I hope that don't happen.
It has.
Oh, gosh. Well, we're at the end of the segment, so what I like to do before wrapping it up is I turn the table around and I let you interview me by asking me one question about JRs Equine Spa Retreat.
Okay, what got you into doing the rehab stuff?
Our stallion. You guys heard Loudmouth just a minute ago. Not happy that another horse is being walked around him and he can't say hi. But anyway, so Loudmouth, Nibs, when he was 4, he was about ready to start his reining trainer. He's a purebred Arabian stallion, old bloodlines. Absolutely fabulous stallion. Well, and he injured himself, didn't break his leg, but his injuries did cause him, due to trauma, to develop ring bone. We got a lot of that reversed because there were certain things I looked into, like Equibone, which is a product that we deal, along with massage and essential oils and stuff like that. Well, if I would have had these therapies, he would have made 100% recovery. And I didn't want anybody else to go through that because it was really devastating to us, because you guys, we kind of based our whole horse program around this horse. We had a future. We saw we'll get him a show career. There's certain mares that we wanted to breed with him for the babies and stuff like that. And his name, his registered name is JR's Legacy of Nabor, and Nabor is a big to-do in the Arabian horse world. So his grandsire Nabor was born 73 years ago.
Oh, wow.
That's how old his bloodlines are. But anyway, I didn't want people to be devastated, if they didn't have a way to rehab. And in fact, I know you're kind of going through this right now with one of your horses. She's your baby.
Yeah.
And seeing her hurting and not having her well is devastating. And that's kind of, I wanted to avoid that for everybody, And so what we offer here, with our boarders is they could add on different therapies. They don't have to add them all. They can add on just 1 or 2. In fact, like our TheraPlate, which is extremely popular, if someone wants to haul in and use the TheraPlate, it's like $25. But if they board here, they could get unlimited use, monthly use, by adding on an additional $50 a month. So for the cost of 2 sessions, you could have, but you got to be a boarder, and we teach you how to do that. Where the haul-ins, we're doing it because we're not teaching you how to do it. But I didn't want people to go through that devastation.
It is devastating.
It is devastating.
Because you don't know like for me, I don't know what the future holds for Lily.
Exactly. How can you plan her future?
I can't. Right now, I'm on standstill.
You're on a standstill to see what happens. And that's something that happens to tons of people, and it's devastating for everybody who's got to go through that. And I wish I could fix every horse. I think all of our goals are to help the horse, and that's
why I make the Mohair, to make them comfortable.
Yes, and that's just it. Because you guys, I am such a big advocate for custom-made tack of quality. And the reason